Happy Monday! Happy Monday. Cheers. Cheers to more coffee. Thank you,
Yes.
Foundation Escrow, for letting us use your couch in place. We appreciate it.
Always.
Alton, thank you.
Shout out to Alton and to my escrow officers, Melissa and Helena. I thank you guys for working so hard on our files and everything. And also thank you to our new subscribers and our viewers.
Yes, definitely. We appreciate you very much.
Yes. And actually, one of the comments that we received on one of our videos was asking us if we can actually lay out a step-by-step process for first-time home buyers on how to prepare for the pre-qualification process.
Okay, yeah, that's important.
Shout out to her. She knows who she is. I don't know if she wants me to mention her name, but I specifically told her that we would dedicate, part of Monday's video alongside the market update,
Okay.
what interest rates are doing
Yeah.
and things like that, and how we are monthly mortgage focused rather than interest rate focused.
Yeah.
And the difference between those two, while having to prepare first-time home buyers on, for those who want to set up an appointment for someone who might feel overwhelmed because they are a first-time home buyer, and how to prepare, the documents and, just having to go in with the mindset knowing that we're going to break down what their monthly mortgage would look like based off of their income, what they can afford, and how we are able to walk them through that step.
Okay, yeah, there's so much information that you should have when you're coming into a meeting to be prepared, right? So this is going to be good because we're going to lay it all out. You kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't prepared for that, but we do this day in, day out, so I can do it right now. But before we jump into that, I do want to jump into the market and what's going on. Let's start our Monday. So mortgage rates have been all over the place. It has been a roller coaster. We all felt it. And this is why we stick to being mortgage payment conscious versus mortgage rates. But it's still important to let everybody know what's going on with the market. So we're following the 10-year Treasury note. And for all of you that know this, the 10-year Treasury note is what we follow for 30-year mortgages. And it's slightly down, which is great. And we're hoping it's going to continue to move down as things kind of clear up in Iran and all that. That is really affecting us here across the board. We all feel it. We keep saying it every week, every Monday. We feel it at gas prices. We feel it in our mortgage rates. We feel it in when we go to the store and buy goods. So we're all hoping that we start seeing this trend continue and to move downward. But in the meantime, if you are shopping, if you are wanting to get pre-approved, we work and we focus on what your mortgage payment is and if you can afford that. That's more important than an interest rate, because an interest rate, you can refinance in the future and you can lower it possibly. And we say the possibility of refinancing, the possibility of lowering your rate, because it all depends on your scenario. And we hope that you keep qualifying every time you want to refinance, right? We don't want to make false promises. So with that in mind, let's move into what, if you're a first-time buyer, what you need to get pre-qualified and how you can prepare yourself for your initial meeting with us.
Yes.
Okay. Important, we're going to look at a couple of things that are very important. The most important thing you can prepare for is your financial background. What does that mean? Be prepared to bring 2 years of tax returns. Okay, or have them ready in PDF. In fact, everything that's PDF emailed to us, less paperwork for you, makes it easier for everybody. But we'll take paper copies. For all of you, you still have paper copies, bring those along. With your tax returns, we only need your federal tax returns. We don't need your state tax returns. And we only need the W-2s or 1099s, whatever you use to file your tax returns. We need those forms you get from your employer, or if you're self-employed and you get 1099 forms, we need those along with your federal tax returns. Okay, so that's probably one of the biggest pieces of documentation we're going to see, we're going to review. We don't always need to use tax returns. Sometimes we can just use the W-2s, but we ask that they bring them so we don't have we don't have you going back and forth like, okay, now we need them. We're going to discover we need them once we get into the loan and we start working on the pre-approval and we find out what kind of loan program we're going to put you in. Some programs require tax returns. Sometimes some other programs only require W-2s. So it just kind of depends on who we move you with. For example, VA versus conventional versus FHA versus USDA. They all may have different requirements on the documents. So prepare yourself with federal tax returns for at least 2 years, the most recent year, 2025 and 2024. If you file an extension, which is okay, people file extensions, then you would bring 2024, 2023, and your extension form, okay? In addition to that, if you're a W-2 employee, so you work for a company, we need your most recent statements of pay stubs for the last 30 days. So we need to cover a 30-day window with no gaps. So sometimes I do get, here's a pay stub from, for example, we are at the end of May. I might get a pay stub from May 15th and one from April 15th. No, we need the May 1st and the May 15th. We can't have gaps. We need 30 consecutive days. So 2 pay periods. If you get 4 pay periods, make sure you have all the pay stubs and make sure they follow in order. Okay. If you're self-employed, you won't have pay stubs. You're a contractor, so you're 1099. So we don't need pay stubs from you. We're going to work with you. And if you don't know how to do a profit and loss statement or a balance sheet, we can work with you on that. What we're going to look at is your previous filings. So whatever you bring in your tax returns, that's what we're working off of. An example, if you filed an extension for 2025, we would do 2024, 2023, and then we would help you put together your profit and loss statement for all of 2025. So those are your most important financial documents. Then we move into another category, which is really important, which is assets. Those are checking, savings, retirement plans, mutual funds, stocks. So we want to know where you have your money. If you're putting a down payment or you're paying for your closing costs, where is the money coming from? If it's coming from a retirement statement, we need a statement, the most recent statement. We always ask for 60 days or 2 months of any financial document. Any asset. So if it's a checking, savings account, be prepared to bring 2 months, the most recent 2 months. So we ask that you either have them in PDF, and again, documents, whichever you prefer. So 2 months of your bank accounts, 2 months of your retirement statements, 2 months of your stock accounts, okay? Now, I get asked, well, do I need to bring them all? You don't need to bring them all if we're not going to use them. But be prepared to have them because every scenario with every client may be different, right? So we're not going to know exactly what we need until you come to your initial interview and we go through the preparation of seeing what exactly program you're going to be using, how much is going to be required for you to close. So if you haven't prepared, you should bring them with you or you should have them ready in an email scenario so you can email them to us. On top of that, we're just going to need you to know your personal information, which shouldn't be very difficult. What is the personal information? Have your full legal name, social security number, date of birth, home address. It's important you know where you lived the last 2 years. Of course, I've had clients that sometimes don't remember their previous address. It's okay. Just be prepared to have that. Employment, we need 2 years of employment history. Employer name, employer address, phone number, job title, when you started working there, when you left. I've had customers that have had 4 or 5 different employers in a 2-year period. And we need to kind of put that together. And they don't remember the dates when they left, when they started their new job. And it is important because there's gaps in between. And we need to it's like a puzzle. We need to make sure we put all the pieces together and they fit. So be prepared, make a list of all the employers, when you started working there, when you left, so we can put that together. Preparation will make things a lot easier because the documentation and the loan application that we're going to fill out is probably 20 to 30 minutes of the process. The bigger part of the process is really getting to know you, talking about your finances, because we'll pull your credit, so we'll know your actual debts. But there's other payments you make, right? Like our clients have utility bills. They have other things they're paying. They're not on the credit report. So that's really where we take our time to figure out where they qualify, where they're comfortable, and where they want to be at. But if you can have that prepared, you can email it, text it to us beforehand. What I like to do is analyze all the information before our meeting if possible. So when the client shows up, I have a really good picture of their financial scenario, their credit, and their personal scenario. So all of that being done, I can really meet with you, we can meet with you, and we can really break down your exact scenario, and we can get into the numbers. We can get into what kind of homes, condos, whatever it is. And that's where it gets really, really good, right? Because now we're really dialing in what you're looking for. Sounds easy. It is easy. If you prepare yourself and you have all that up front, it's going to make this process really smooth.
Awesome. And if you feel overwhelmed, if this was a little bit too much in trying to figure out how I can best prepare myself before coming in and getting pre-qualified, also know that you don't have to, on your first appointment with us in our office, we can have a conversation. Mm-hmm. We can sit down, try to figure out, what exactly your expectations are and what we have to offer. And we can also provide you the same exact checklist of what Ruben had shared with you today at the table.
Yeah, there's different levels. I mean, we have clients that come in and they just want to have a talk, right? And we have that conversation initial, kind of getting to know each other. They're trying to figure out if we're the team for them. Let's see if they like us, they feel comfortable, they trust us. And if that proceeds, then the next meeting is when they send their documents and we meet with them again. And then we have clients that come in prepared and they just want to get right into it. So whatever your situation is, as far as how you're going to feel comfortable, we'll work around that, right? There's no right or wrong scenario here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, we're always all about relationships over transactions. We're not here to make you feel like another number or to only answer our phones between Monday and Friday, 9 to 5. Having to work in this type of industry allows us the flexibility to work with you and your schedule. So don't be afraid to give us a call and set up an appointment today.
That's right. Thank you for watching, like, share,
and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.